So I want to talk about faith. How strong is your faith? Because in these last days, it's going to be harder and harder to serve God. It's going to be harder and harder to walk in a relationship with God and to be a Christian in this world because of the enemy trying to attack our faith. But if your faith is strong, you will stand in these last days. Isaiah 7 verse 9 says, Israel is no stronger than its capital Samaria, and Samaria is no stronger than its king Pekah, son of Rehemiah. Unless your faith is firm, you cannot stand firm. And so I want to talk about that. How strong is your faith? Is your faith firm in God? Because if your faith is easily tossed around, then you're not going to be able to stand firm in your relationship with God. The cares of the world, the idols of this world, they're going to drag your heart away, like Solomon. Solomon's faith wasn't firm in his God, and so because of that, he got seduced by foreign women and he started following foreign women, and because of that, his heart became wicked. His heart became impure and corrupted by the cares of the world because his faith wasn't firm in God. And I think this verse is very powerful because the faith and love of God in Israel was not strong at all. And because of that, the country was deserted and the people of the country of Israel were forced into slavery. They were forced into exile because of their disobedience. And God warned them multiple times to repent, to turn to Him, to not just look like Him and say, I'm a Jew, but to walk like a Jew, to live like a Jew. And because they weren't firm in their faith, God let the enemies come in and take them out until they repented. And once they repented, God brought them back. And only standing firm in our faith and trusting God will help us get through these tough times, clinging to God and not lean on our own understanding. So we can stand firm against the attacks of the enemy. And on Judgment Day, we can stand firm and be like, God, I know I'm not righteous, but I tried to live a faithful life. I tried to live for you. And that's all we can do in our walk, is live and walk by faith and not by sight. But it's important that we just don't say, oh, I believe in Jesus, but our actions show we believe in Jesus. James 2 verse 23 says, and so it happened just as the scriptures say, Abraham believed God and it was counted to him as righteousness. Abraham believed God and counted him as righteous because of his faith. He was even called the friend of God. So you see, we are shown to be right with God by what we do, not by faith alone. Rahab the prostitute, another example. She was shown to be right with God because of her actions. She hid those messengers and sent them safely away by a different road. Just as the body is dead without breath, so also faith is dead without good works. So without good works, our faith is considered dead, because you could say I have faith, but if your faith is not producing fruit, do you really have faith, or are you just saying it? Because faith is an action word. Faith is just not saying, oh, I got faith, I believe in you, God. But then when it comes down to it, you don't act on that faith. You don't walk in that faith. Abraham had the promised son that God promised him years and years ago. And God said, go sacrifice your son on the altar. And he went. And because he walked by faith and said, God, I don't know what's going to happen, but I believe you're going to bring a sacrifice. The moment he was about to strike Isaac, God put a ram in the bush. He acted upon his faith. And so we cannot just say we have faith, but we got to act on our faith. Matthew 7 verse 21 says, not everyone who calls out to me, Lord, Lord, went to the kingdom of heaven, but only those who actually do the will of my Father in heaven will enter. So we need to act on our faith. We need to do the will of the Father. And the will of the Father is to be holy, for God is holy. It's to walk by faith and not by sight. It's to live a pure and righteous and holy life. It's not just to say, I believe in you, Jesus, and I'm just saved because I believe in you. But it's acting upon that faith. It's walking in that faith and being a living sacrifice unto the Lord. Being set apart. Holy means to be set apart. So we need to be set apart. We need to be holy so God can use us in a mighty way. So God can consecrate us and exalt us. And so we can stand firm in these last days. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. And I really hope it blessed you. But if you did like this, you can donate to my ministry. You can watch these videos, and you can subscribe right here. But I love you so much. And I thank you for clicking on this video. God bless.